All right, fellas, right through there. Now, Claudia, tell me, when you saw that Packey was beaten up, why didn't you try to locate a doctor?
I wanted to, but he wouldn't let me.
Rick, that's when you came in and you started to treat him?
I was just starting to examine him when I was called to the phone.
Yeah.
That's when you got hit on the head and were knocked out cold.
And he should go to the hospital and get an X-ray.
Honestly, I'm fine. Just fine.
What is it, Harper?
We've searched outside, Captain, and for at least 2 blocks in every direction. No sign of a wounded man.
What about the hospitals?
I called every emergency room in town. No trauma victims for the last 2 hours.
All right. Tell you what you do. Go out and look around the entrance area again. Look for blood stains on the sidewalk. And if you see any, call me.
Right away, Captain.
Thanks. Well, Rick, it looks like you were the last one to see Packey.
Lying there on the table.
Yeah, and you're the doctor. Tell me, when you saw him there on the table, was he dead or alive?
Well, possibly he was both.
Both?
Bert, I saw Packey twice. Once when I was examining him, and then the other time after the phone.
But you were knocked out.
Right. But I got a look at him just before whoever it was hit me.
And after you heard the shots?
Yes.
Well, Rick, then I come up with the same question. After you heard the shots and you saw him there on the table, tell me, was he dead or alive?
Look, it was a very quick look, but I did see him. Now, this time he was spread out flat on the table, and he was not moving.
Yeah, but he did move, or somebody moved him. Which means we could be dealing with murder.
So who moved him?
Well, whoever did it wanted to get rid of the evidence. You can't get a murder conviction with no corpus delicti, no body, no murder. The question I want to know the answer to is, who would want to kill Packey, and why?
I think I can shed some light on that.
Oh?
Just before I was called to the phone, Packey was begging me not to let Johnny fight again.
Well, did he say why?
We were just getting to that point. It had something to do with the 2 guys that beat him up. You remember the exhibition fight that he had just had?
Yeah.
All right, there was Anthony Han. That fella came down that night to see Johnny and started asking a lot of questions.
Anthony Head, you know who he is, don't you? He was Frank Smith's chief bookie before Frank went to prison.
No.
I thought we'd heard the last of him.
Evidently not when the subject is Johnny Morrissey.
Oh? Well, then Johnny Morrissey is the person I want to see.
But somebody did something bad to Packey. I heard all those policemen saying so. I mean, we don't know anything for sure.
Listen, Amy's right. Like, there's no point in worrying unless we know what happened.
Oh, but I am worried.
Well, look, little guy, you just got to keep the faith, you hear? Hey, listen, why don't you do me a favor, man? Why don't you go inside the locker room and get us some custom sodas, because we could all use a nice little
Do
break.
that for me, please. Okay. But I'll be right back. We'll be waiting. Johnny.
You know whose fault this is, don't you? It's mine. I'm the jerk who talked him into coming here.
Come on.
Yeah, now look what's happened, huh?
You're wrong.
Packey loved being here, and he loved being with you, so don't blame yourself. Blame
No.
the guy that shot him.
Amy, it's still my fault. I begged him to come here to Port
Johnny,
Charles.
Stop.
I begged him. Hey, Packey, please, come on,
Johnny,
help me train.
Do you
How come-
remember how hard it was for me to admit that I had lost my sister? You remember?
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Well, it would have been a whole lot harder if I didn't have you to hold me. So now it's my turn, okay? Okay?
Amy.
It's most generous of you to come to Port Charles.
Oh, but I'm enjoying Port Charles. Tonight especially.
Really?
Yes. Tonight, Port Charles is just like Paris. Good wine, fine music, and a beautiful woman.
Tell me, your country, is that also like Paris?
Well, perhaps in time. One of the reasons we are bringing the exhibit here to Port Charles is that His Highness Prince Kedar wishes to help raise funds for the building of a modern hospital.
Then the exhibit is important.
Oh, yes, very.
Important for other reasons? I mean, besides the hospital.
But of course. One day, we hope to bring many of the modern benefits of civilization to Malkuth.
Including beautiful women.
We have lovely women there now, but none with the savoir-faire of a Miss Tiffany Hill.
Hello, Robert. Right this way. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Here you go. Oh.
Robert, don't you have a table a little bit further back?
But, Ellen, this is perfect. It's right next to your mother and father.
Yes, I noticed. Hello, Mother.
Hello, dear.
Hello, Father. See. Robert?
Well, Alan, I'm sorry, but this is the only table that we have available at the moment. But look, please enjoy yourselves.
Yes, well, we'll certainly try. Thank you. Well, Mother, Father, I believe you know Susan.
Isn't this exciting? Imagine our tables right next to each other.
I can hardly contain my joy.
It's almost like a family affair.
Speaking of families, Alan, I was hoping that you'd be having dinner with Monica and your son tonight.
Really, Mother? Why were you hoping that?
Well, I just thought it might be one more small step towards your reconciliation.
What is what?
You really think this is the right time for us to be talking about reconciliation, Mother? There's really no need to talk about anything because I tell you, I couldn't be more content than I am with Susan.
Doesn't Alan say the sweetest thing?
Almost never. If you're so content, Alan, why did you promise Lee Baldwin that you'd go through family counseling sessions with Monica?
Isn't the show about to start any moment, Father?
Strange. I thought it already had.
Alan, what is all this talk about family counseling?
But it's really nothing for you to be concerned about. It was just a little suggestion that Lee had made us, a way of me getting partial custody for Alan Jr. Forget about it.
I will not forget about it.
Shh. Keep your voice down. I mean, Monica hasn't even agreed to it.
But you have. You never even mentioned it to me, Alan. Are you listening to me?
Yes, patiently.
Well, what other secrets haven't you told me?
I think I've just made a social faux pas.
You, Robert.
Unthinkable, sir. What did you do?
I placed Alan and Susan next to Lila Quartermain's table. I think, well, I expect the outbreak of hostilities any second now.
I see. Well, then let's get this turkey in the oven. We need all the attention we can get.
Right. Right, your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to present to you Impresario Extraordinaire, the wonderful, the great Lucas Lorenzo Spencer and his unknown son.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the Modern Star. My assistant tonight will be the ever-loving Jackie Thompson.
That medallion.
Been here before, and I think
Do you happen to know where he got it?
always find the Modern Star place of
You've seen this
mystery,
medallion
intrigue, suspense, and
One like it?
power.
Yes, I have.
Now, I got suspense, mystery, maybe a little magic now and then, and a lot of power here.
Now, Johnny, I want you to think about this. You've got a fight coming up, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, tell me, do you have any knowledge of any pressure being put on Packey, or yourself for that matter, as to influencing the outcome of the fight? What I'm saying is, was the fix-in.
Come on. I'm strictly legit. So is Pack.
Nobody's saying you're not, but think about this for a minute. Could somebody have gotten to Packey about putting the fix-in and he didn't tell you?
Captain, look. Packey, it was like a father to me.
Right. And like a father, he was trying to protect you. Somebody might have tried to put the fix in, but he didn't want to worry you about it. Couldn't that have happened?
Yeah. That could have happened, just like you said, to protect me. Could have kept it from me. But don't get the idea that Packey would have had it fixed. Go along with it.
Johnny, Packey was shot. You feel he felt so strongly that he would have allowed himself to be used as a target?
You bet he did.
So where are we now? Dr. Weber here thinks that Packey was shot. But so far, we haven't found Packey or his body. And then again, maybe it was because somebody's trying to fix the fight all this happened. But we're not sure of that either. And perhaps it's something in Packey's personal life that caused it. Brian.
Yes, Captain.
Can you open Packey's room for me?
Sure, no problem.
Good. If we're lucky, maybe we'll find something that'll tell us what the devil's going on here.
Now you will unlock the exhibit room for us on the sound of the whistle. Now you will return to your post, the entrance of the building, and you will not remember that you and your partner let us in. You will stand to the side at your post, and you will not remember that you unlocked the door or that we are inside. Incredible. I mean, will they actually forget even if they're questioned? The hypnotic spell holds until I release them. You should know that, Mel. I have Laura under hypnotic control. Luke Spencer's been trying to break through for weeks, and he hasn't discovered anything.
I believe I appeal to power for one more object, please. The amazing Spencer comes through. Yeah. Thank you. This is obviously a man's pocket watch made of gold. There's an inscription on the back. Very nice. 25 years of love. It is signed Jennifer.
Wow, that's exactly right.
Woo! Thank you. That's it for tonight. You guys are most welcome.
Very good. Thank you for this. I wonder if it's... Yeah, that's a plant. It's not very green if it is a plant. Oh, thank you very much.
Ambassador Spencer.
Spencer, nice to meet you. Congratulations on your performance, sir. It was not only mystifying, but a delightful entertainment.
Thank you very much. Will you join us?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Most kind.
Luke, I didn't want to interrupt the show, but the ambassador recognized your medallion.
You did. Would you like to inspect it?
No, that wouldn't be necessary at all. I know that medallion very well indeed. It's made from an ancient coin. And of course, in the case of yours, a replica. Do you know, the face on the front is that of Iskandar, or Alexander the Great. As you probably know, Alexander founded the ruling house in Malkuth over 2,000 years ago.
Yes, we learned that after doing some research.
We were wondering if you could fill us in on some things we couldn't find out.
I'm happy to oblige if I can. Exactly what information are you seeking?
You know a man named David Gray?
Gray, David Gray. No, I don't believe so. Why do you ask?
That medallion belongs to him. He was also at your press conference the other day.
He's a tall man, rather attractive, dark hair, extremely strange eyes.
I'm sorry, I don't recall him at all. Perhaps you can satisfy my curiosity if you can. Miss David Gray, how did he come into possession of that medallion?
We don't know.
Why do you ask?
Largely curiosity. You see, that emblem was once worn by a cult in my country. A very dedicated, fanatical, and ruthless group opposed violently to the royal family.
Are you telling me that the man who gave me this medallion could be a member of that cult?
Oh, I doubt that very much. Then again, I had heard that they were out of existence many, many years ago.
Could any of their descendants be still alive?
None that I know of, Mr. Scorpio. None that I know of. However, if you wish to see one of the original medallions, You're welcome to visit us at the opening of the Malkoothian exhibit. There'll be one on display. Now then, if these charming people will excuse us, Miss Hill, I think perhaps we should join the Quartermains at our table. Once again, Mr. Spencer, your performance, most enjoyable.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Ambassador? When it happens,
Well, at least we'll be able to see the original at the exhibit.
I don't think we should wait. If it's going to be on exhibit, that means it's probably there now. Robert, old boy. Just, how is your relationship with the museum security guard?
Oh, like drinking buddies. I gave them the old security bureau bits.
That's what I thought. Shall we go?
Indeed.
Wait a minute.
What?
What about me? Didn't we just agree last night that we're going to do everything together? So I'm not going to. Unless you don't want me to go.
Luke? Oh, what the hell? Come on.
All right, Phil, thanks.
Bert, you find anything in his room?
Oh, nothing unusual. Usual personal stuff, and of course, a stopwatch, a sponge.
A bath sponge?
No. That's Packey's ringside sponge. You know, trainers use it to wipe down the fighters between rounds.
Hey, you know, I bet I know who did it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, one of those guys who took Packey out of here.
Wait a minute, Mike. Mike, did you say that you saw Packey leave with some men?
Yeah, sure. And it sure looked like he didn't want to go.
Bert, Mike told us about these guys, and I thought he was maybe exaggerating.
But I wasn't, Rick, honest.
Mike, do you think you could describe those men to me?
Well, I can if I try real hard.
Okay, well, what I want you to do is try real hard, okay? Did anybody else see them?
No. I didn't see them, but I had a very strange phone call at the hospital.
Well, tell me about it.
A man called who never gave his name. He had kind of a deep voice.
Leslie, what did he say?
Well, it was a threat. Now, I didn't know about any of this at that time, but he said that what had happened at the clinic could happen to me or any member of my family.
Leslie, why didn't you tell me?
Sit. I didn't tell you because I walked into all of this. But it was very frightening because all I could think was we've lost Laura, and now it could be Amy or Mike.
Look, I'm sorry to bother you at night, but the museum director agrees that, security should be checked. Not on a regular basis, but and certainly scheduled. But it's all trick I learned from the WSP.
I understand, Mr. Scorpio, but the major exhibit seems to haven't even arrived yet.
Well, look, we'll have a quick look into it.
It's okay, Ed. These people are just doing an authorized check.
Can't be too careful, you know.
No, sir.
Over here. Yeah? Okay, listen. Forget about the large crates. Look for something small. These medallions will be a nothing, well, you know.
Press conference, they had jewelry in
Leather boxes. Good idea.
Almost like this. This is almost exactly the size. I can't get this,
Here, let me help you. Your hand is cold.
I know. Here it is. This is it.
That's right, just like David Gray's, only newer.
Just like what the ambassador said, this would have to be a replica.
That's right. Apart from that, it's exactly the same. What do you think, Robert?
This is the original.
What? There's something far more interesting out here. Have a look.
What are you talking about? Oh, man.
What is it? What is out there?
It's the wall of a shop that I'm sure we're all familiar with.
Would one of you guys please tell me?
Well, look again, baby. It's the wall of the old antique shop, isn't it now?
Ooh. Don't turn on the lights.
Why not? We're all right now.
You think so now?
Aren't we?
Didn't you hear those voices down the hall? Don't you have any idea who was coming?
Who?
Luke Spencer, you moron. Spencer and his friends. That means one thing.
What?
They're figuring out the heist.